Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Carter.
It's December 20th, 2017, podcast number 2.
We are recording live from the Israeli moon base. This is Idiocracy Now,
where we watch the ride of the world and report back to you with expert analysis of the fast talk and fine print. Hello, my Americans. How are you this week, Carter?
I'm pretty good. Kind of tired today, but I'm still jacked. My mind just is going and going and going. So
I'm really intrigued about this journey we've been having.
Yeah, I'm glad to be on this ship.
I've been all over Amazon and Best Buy buying podcasting equipment.
Yeah, what I want to get is a fancy mic like the one you have there.
Yeah, I like this. I feel really broadcast. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I feel like a news broadcaster, I guess.
Yeah, you look really professional. We're gonna have a YouTube channel.
You know what? I've never seen anybody with a big, long beard give the news.
That's correct. David Knight gives the real news.
David Knight gives the real news, but nobody really has like a long, like hide the neck beard.
Yeah, not like that one.
Does that guy have a neck?
You're breaking the mold. You're pioneering new.
This is the bearded news. So Idiocracy Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great name.
Our sponsors are us right now.
Yeah, right now our sponsors are us.
Sole producers.
Yeah. The last show was slightly sponsored by the awesome dude at Guitar Center, Luke, that hooked me up with this family discount, which saved like $150 for some of this equipment.
Really?
Yeah. So
yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah. What's up, Luke? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I also got we got the big TV out here, so we can Google anything we need to.
Yep. Jamie didn't show up for work today, broke his toe.
Jamie broke his toe, so I am Jamie today, and I'm probably going to do my best.
Yeah.
I got to stop being so self-loathing. I was going to say I'm going to suck, but
it can be a little tough working like a computer and talking at the same time, at least for me. But
I think I do it a lot, and I just don't recognize it. Now that I look at this like work, but I think I can do it.
This does feel a little like work, like in a good way. I haven't actually felt like I had a job in a long time.
It gives us some structure, and we need some structure.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like a participating member of society.
Yeah, the podcast society.
The underground Idiocracy Now society.
Idiocracy Now. Do we have a Twitter?
Oh, yeah. We do have a Twitter. It is Idiocracy Now at Idiocracy Now 1 because some bastard already took Idiocracy Now. So
we are hunting them down as we speak.
Idiocracy Now at Idiocracy Now 1. All
right. Yep.
We also have an email, which is idiocracynow at startmail.com. And
Startmail?
Startmail. It's idiocracynow at startmail.com. Startmail is it's like an encrypted email service that they also have a search engine that's anonymous. They're privacy fanatics.
That's awesome. We also have a phone number. It's 517-897-7759. Call or text.
Yeah.
24 hours a day.
24 hours a day. Someone may or may not answer, depending on how our secretary is feeling.
Mm-hmm. She'll be fine. So we spent the week. We did a podcast practice. We're trying to give you the most professional.
Oh, continue. Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah. For a minute there, I thought we weren't recording, but I'm just zoomed way out on this file.
Yeah, so we were trying to give you the most professional show.
Yes, it's very professional. It's the process. This is a process, folks.
But this is number 2, and it's only going to get better from here. That's for sure.
Yeah, I hope so.
So last week we did a little bit of interviewing, and I think instead of just eating up a lot of time with that, I think we could do 1 or 2 per show, maybe 1 in the beginning, 1 at the end. What do you think?
Like interview questions, you mean?
Yeah, just personal about you and I.
It'll probably just come up naturally, but it's a good way to introduce ourselves to the world.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we can go off on a tangent. Might yield some more content.
So do you have any more questions for me? Or I was thinking we could go more for that job thing. I got to like 2 of my 20 jobs, but
really, yeah. If you want to, yeah, go for that because I think I can touch on some subjects too.
Okay.
So favorite jobs, man.
Favorite jobs? No, I was gonna go for like
worst jobs. Funny, the most interesting.
I was gonna go chronologically. I think I stopped at dishwasher.
Okay.
or old folks home waiter, and I went from that all the way to the White House. No, all the way to the state capitol. As like your job is basically bitch. It was a page, which is like it's a synonym for bitch. We used that word a lot last.
Are you willing to disclose which state?
But truly, you're a bitch. Any representative can use you for anything they want.
Wow. Any Me Too stuff?
Dude, actually, yeah.
Really?
There's a lot of Me Too stuff going on there with like old the security guards for the Capitol are like ex-police chief people, and they were all our bosses. So we had like 8 college kids, all about 18, 19.
And your boss was the cops?
At least one of them got fired for like, having sex with one of the 18, 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
And he was like 60. Yeah, they were cops. They were like hardcore retired state cops.
Ooh. I got a tangent story. So put a pin in that. I'm going to tell you. There was this 17-year-old girl. Her name may or may not have been Morgan. And the manager of the restaurant that I was working at thought I was having sex with Morgan, and he fired me. Because that was his favorite girl. She was very underage.
Because he was doing it?
Because he was fucking her. So, yeah, I know of that story. But yeah, so you're in the state capitol. The cops are your boss.
Cops are our boss.
You're the bitch of the whole entire place.
Yeah, and when the representatives are in session, when the House is in session, we were on the floor ready to, if they had a little button they could press on their desk. And we would run up and be like, "What would you want, master?" And they would be like,
"That's racist."
It would be like, "Hey, little dude, can you get me a Diet Coke and a popcorn?" And it was Diet Coke popcorn about half of the time. Or just like, "Hey, here's some papers. Oh, hey, can you go pick up those papers across the street over there?" Or
two things. Also, I had a limo driver who enjoyed Diet Coke and peanuts. He would dump peanuts into his Diet Coke.
It seems like they would foam really bad somehow.
It did, and he loved it. And you would have been fired for that massa talk.
Would have been fired for what?
I'm right here, massa. I'm right here. Would have been fired already.
Yeah, if this was like a news broadcast.
No, if you even said that, like if you were working at TJ Maxx. And you're like, and your white boss said to you, and you were like, "I'll be right there, massa." And there was a black person. They could have been very triggered by that.
They could have been. That's a reality, and I wouldn't have said it in real life.
Real life. This. All right.
This is my imaginary life.
This is our playland. We can do whatever we want here. We're the bosses.
Yeah,
and that's a rarity.
My favorite part is how like our voices are just bouncing up to satellites and bouncing all over the place. And then some dude in South Africa can somehow stumble across this and be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, and then he can donate some bones.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, because South Africa's
there's fairly wealthy.
That's where the whites are.
Yeah, for now. Yeah, they're getting discriminated against pretty bad, I guess.
Yeah, I heard that. That's something to look into.
Yeah, for another day. So what have you been up to this week?
No, jobs.
Oh, jobs. Sorry.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, I'm just not interested in your life, Chris.
So
no, seriously.
You got one. Oh, I got one. I used to be a personal trainer in high school. I was pretty ripped.
Like an actual job or just
an actual job? It was like, hey. What do they call it? Co-op.
Oh, sweet.
So I got to leave and I got to go hang out at Fitness USA. And I got to train people. And after hours, they would shut the place down It was co-ed. No, it wasn't co-ed. There was only men allowed at one time and females allowed at the other time. They would shut it down at night, and we got to use like the bathhouse and the hot tub area to party in.
Like the steam room, basically. Is that what the bathhouse is?
College girls, because it was on the outskirts of MSU campus. So I seen a lot of titties after work, but during work, dicks all day long, dicks.
I was just about to say, wow, that seems like a dream job.
No, it was, but the amount of dicks that you had to wade through to see like maybe 3 sets of tits at the end of the night, exquisite tits, exquisite. But yeah,
you know what I never understood is, and they probably still do this to this day, how high school teams can like all just get naked and jump in the shower together like every day. I'm like, I could never do that. Like, I'm not gonna go in that room with all those naked dudes and take a shower in front of everybody. Are you fucking crazy?
I went to
I quit.
I went to church camp when I was younger. And I think it was like in 5th or 6th grade, and they're like, everybody has to get naked and shower before they get in the pool. I'm like, no, I don't. And I'm not going to. Everybody got naked. Even the adults got naked, and then they all got in the pool. And then I waited. I showered with my shorts on, and then I got in the pool. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, but, that's another thing. It's like, oh, it's a locker room. It's okay for adults to be naked right next to you. No big deal.
No, I'm a fucking 5 or 6. Like, I'm like,
what?
I was probably hot. You know what I'm saying? I was probably pretty hot. I was in karate, so like I was definitely toned. I could definitely kick somebody's ass, but I was probably hot, and they were obsessed. Like, Chris, you got to do it. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
Jesus is telling me not to.
I'm pretty sure I'm not crazy about that, but it seems like a pretty popular thing, and it's not just an American thing. I'm sure it's even bigger in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in Japan. I was in a bathhouse that they adamantly were saying, you have first you get naked. These are the rules. And it was just like the 4 of us. It wasn't like a big popular thing, but they're like, you have to get naked and you must wash yourself in this way. And they demonstrated how to wash their balls and stuff with a bucket of water. And it was like this natural spring that was running through this building. They demonstrated? Yeah.
How? Who? Like on like a set of potatoes?
No, it was this really tall American dude that owned the place.
And he was like, watch me wash my balls. This is how you wash your balls.
Yeah, I think he just did it with his clothes on. There's like buckets, and you had to fill them up, and you sat on these stools, and then you like wash your balls.
Excuse me. That's disgusting.
Joe Rogan blesses you.
Thank you, Joe Rogan.
Speaking of that, I don't want to start or go too far without doing a proper Rogan prayer here.
Yeah, let's give thanks to Joe Rogan, one of the forefathers of podcasting.
All right. Bow your heads that look like toes. Dear Heavenly Joe Rogan, thank you for your guidance and for your offering and for offering your bald-headed, gentle grace. Help us grow our podcast in the fruit of the Rogan. Amen.
Send us some books.
Some books?
Yeah.
What's with that?
Whatever Joe Rogan's reading is definitely got to be good to read.
He sends books?
No, I don't think you would have to listen to this podcast. I guess I should be.
Yeah, what do I know?
Yeah.
It's not like I listen to it every episode or anything.
Basically, it truly is like talking to God. And he's probably not going to respond. We got a better chance getting on the Alex Jones show, which we should, by the way.
Oh yeah. Maybe eventually.
Yeah.
I know I've hung out with a couple of those people a few times, just by happenstance.
Hey,
we'll get into that someday.
Yeah. So my job wasn't that. I really haven't had that many jobs, and I fucked up a lot of jobs. I told you about the chicken nugget box, and I don't want to get into that again.
No, that was a good story. I really think that one was a good one for the first episode.
I can't think of anything right now, but I'm always short of memory. But let's show these people some of our hard work that we put in, and let's do that urban jingle.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
We're going to get into some substance, folks.
If the jingle button works, we will. That would help.
And if it doesn't, I quit and I'm gonna burn this motherfucker down.
Man, do what you gotta do, man.
I'm just joking.
Do what you gotta do.
Whatever you do, panic. This is the urban commercial analysis of the week. Black advertisements, if you will. By cereal motherfucker. Higher motherfucking standards, lower motherfucking prices. Broccoli's half off this week, bitches. Come and get some.
Woo!
All right, so this is about trends I've been noticing in commercials. And recently, it was in the news that hip-hop took over as the largest music genre in America. Have you heard?
I think I might have heard that from you. Yeah, that's interesting.
I've been ever since that. I've been noticing advertisements lean a little bit urban, and I'm gonna play a little clip from Bridgestone.
Bridgestone engineers are helping NHL All-Star PK Subban take his nephew out for some ice cream.
It's so cold. I'm from Canada. It's never too cold for ice cream.
We set up an obstacle course to demonstrate Bridgestone's Blizzak WS80 tires.
Whoa!
The advanced engineering of our tires helps you stop safely on ice. In fact, 33% faster than an all-season tire.
Wow.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
Pause that, Jamie. Okay. So they got a guy on there called PK Subban, and he is a black hockey player. And he's from Canada. And I'm not sure who he plays for. He's in the car with two white scientists. And honestly, one of the scientists could have been black. Or, at least black. Right?
I can only see the one in the front seat, and he is definitely white as hell. Yeah, you're saying they potentially, yeah.
The guy in the black. I'm just saying for Bridgestone.
Yeah. They're going to name it Blizzak.
Yeah, they could have had another. Well, it just, all scientists are white, in this day and age, and especially, come on. You sell more tires to liberals, at least.
Maybe. They definitely think about that kind of stuff. I mean, they might have said, I'm just guessing. They might have said, "Well, we already got the one black guy, so they got."
Yeah, and his little nephew's back there, so that's fine.
Good,
So they're trying to sell to urban people. That's all I can think of. Blizzak tires. Come on.
I would guess so, but there's a lot of white dudes that like the word Blizzak and Manizzle and all that stuff.
This all comes from Snoop.
Yeah, directly from Snoop's mouth to.
And I think we should expect more of this. I seen a children's commercial where I think some cereal is doing a cannonball, and instead of saying cannonball, they go cannon bizzle. I mean, it's all over the place. It's everywhere I look now.
I feel like I had something for. Oh yeah, there was. I can't remember what it was now. There was a clip that I had that was. Oh yeah, it was a Hardee's commercial. There was two seriously geeky white dudes, and they start this big long rap about Hardee's, and then they're like wearing like big gold chains. It's like your cliche rap commercial, or your cliche rap video with these super geeky white dudes. But I think they were maybe they were selling to black people, but it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
Black people do like to laugh at geeky white dudes, so maybe.
Yeah, and they also like to rob them.
On occasion.
It's in my neighborhood. It's a rough neighborhood. I think millennial commercials is a big thing too. I see a lot of weird wording, like the advertisement for this particular like the advertisement for this commercial on YouTube. They had some millennial running down the road, and he's like, "You're always rage quitting." And have you ever heard that?
No, I'm confused as to what that means. What's the context of the commercial? What is he quitting?
They're trying to teach him something, but he's always rage quitting.
He's just like, fuck this.
I can't do this anymore.
I'm not good enough. I don't care.
Me in math class.
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I had a few classes like that. I rage quitted lots of things. So you think that's a new millennial term?
Yeah, and on No Agenda, we talked about it last week. Merriam-Webster's word of the year was feminism.
Yeah. Yep.
I was listening to the No Agenda show, and they had the I think it was Oxford Dictionary's word of the year was youthquake.
Yeah. I've never heard that either. I've heard
Fucking
feminism at least.
Youthquake. I've never heard of the word youth. Well, I've heard of both of those words, but never put together like that.
Huh. Great minds think alike, I guess. Youthquake. So youthquake is like the youth rising up and fucking up the world or something?
Yeah, like when maybe they're talking about the internet mob things, the flash mobs.
I wondered if those were still going on. I asked
Like
some
on the
millennials.
internet, a whole bunch of people just start tweeting you and tell you to kill yourself. Oh, you were just a victim of the youthquake.
I guess so. I don't
fall in the cracks.
I don't think those flash mobs happen. I'm not sure, but I was asking some.
I'm pretty sure they do. There's video documentation on YouTube, and I'm all over it.
Oh yeah? Is it still a thing?
No, it's not still a
people
thing.
still dancing in airports and
I
stuff?
don't know. Probably not.
I haven't seen it lately. And I asked some highly internet addicted millennials about it, and they didn't think it was happening anymore. What about the flash mobs where people like all get together and just go rob a store? Is
Yeah,
that still happening? That seems effective. So
I
bet
think
that
that's
still
called
is.
protest gone violent.
It's called mass robbery.
Flash rob.
Or
They call it, instead of a flash mob, it's a flash rob.
Or the flash riots that go on.
Yeah, always.
That stuff's crazy. I want to get in on that one. So whoever has those Twitter handles, please, I'll try to follow you or whatever. I'm still figuring out the Twitters.
I would probably protest. I mean, I would probably rob a store if everybody was doing it.
Yeah,
It depends on what store.
I don't know. I don't know if I would this day and age. I might be too mature for that now. I'm not sure. It depends on what kind of stuff is inside.
Yeah, it does.
Whether or not it's the end of the world or not.
If they're selling dildos, I'm in there. And I'm stealing dicks by the handful.
We should ask the lady at Cirilla's if she's ever caught people stealing dildos.
No, that's my real dick. Sir, you got two dicks. Well, yeah, I stole the other one.
Don't judge me.
No, seriously, I got two dicks.
So this is our on that note, this is our Christmas episode.
Oh yeah,
On the note
it
of,
is.
Shoplifting and things like that. I figured this year is probably
It's
a pretty
December.
big time for catching shoplifters.
Yeah, and probably a big time for not.
Just a big time for shoplifting, I guess I should say.
Oh, well, if you think about it, every store that I go to, there's a shortage of people and there's lines everywhere.
Yeah, dude, the lines are ridiculous. Today was just insane.
So you have an abundance of people and a shortage of staff. I bet you shit's getting stolen left and right. They're getting taken.
Well, I was thinking about all the people that,
Well, they're not getting taken, but
all the people that can't afford gifts or, whatever, too. They're just like, well, I'm going to steal this for my grandson or whoever.
yeah. Old people steal just as much as young people.
I think I've heard the statistic that they steal more often, actually.
Yeah, they always got those big bags, big coats.
And what are they going to do? Like, send the old
Come on,
75-year-old to jail?
Come on, Grandpa, your ankles ain't that big. Take off those big, shiny black shoes. I know your stuff is some shit in there. So that pretty much concludes the urbanized commercial for this week. I just want to tell you, I think this podcast episode is brought to you by Moon Rocks.
Like the Keef dusted nugs.
Yeah. You want to know how I make them?
I think I know how, but yeah, tell everybody
Yeah,
in case they want to make their own moon rocks.
I probably don't do it like everybody else. I've made my own way.
In the state that is legal.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? YouTube!
What's up, YouTube?
I really do hate that guy.
We just need some water bong sounds, and we'll be
Yeah, I can make some.
right there.
I got water, and I can do a great water bong with my mouth.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me tell you about first. I take my finest wax or rosin, and I melt it down on a little piece of parchment paper, and I roll the nug in it, and then I sprinkle my finest keef from those screens we bought from China.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I let them sit for like a month or two, and then I smoke on them.
You don't just like roll them around in the keef? That's pretty good.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I was thinking that you were going to do it without putting water in your mouth somehow magically.
Yeah, just
let me try.
That's pretty good. Your bong sounds bigger than mine.
Shit, I haven't smoked out of a bong in way too long.
I think it's bad for you. Well, it's bad for me because I hack. Bongs make me cough so much.
It's because you pack so much smoke into your lungs. You know, if you take a big bong rip, you always cough your brains out, and then you're blasted.
Yeah, but yep, moon rocks at Christmas. I'm giving all my patients moon rocks for Christmas, free of charge.
Nice.
Yeah, they deserve it. They're good people.
So yeah, this is a Christmas episode. Christmas is in 5 days, 4.5.
Are you ready?
So I sort of halfway ready. Ready.
I'm fucking ready.
Yeah, you've had your tree up probably since Turkey Day.
Yeah, the Friday, probably a week after.
Do you still have your instead of a star, he had like a Muslim moon and star, or how is it?
It's a star and crescent, and I also have a huge beard, and I bought a bunch of schmigas because I go I drive my truck in the desert. It's a little place called Silver Lake Sand Dunes. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that place is magical looking.
But yeah, and I abstain from alcohol, so.
You're a good Muslim.
Yeah, I'm a good Muslim, and I'm not even trying to. To.
Better than like the one Muslim I actually know. Yeah,
the Muslim the Muslims down the street that own the corner store. Those guys are
they're high on something, dude.
Oh, they are definitely high all the time, and they have access to so much fried chicken because they sell they sell fried chicken in there. They're always full. They're always greasy. Like, if my girlfriend goes into that store and comes home, I'm like, God damn, you smell like the corner store. It's bad.
Wow, yeah. It's like going to the fish fry or something.
And they always talk to her like, hello, baby. Hey, baby. You want to come to my apartment? It's clean. You know, it's...
there's one guy there that's got a really sweet ring. I want to ask him about the stone.
There was one little guy who had one of those traditional knives. You know, that hooks at the end.
Yeah,
they're like,
sweet.
How... Well, when you look at those things, I really don't like them because it looks like the blade hooks in. But if it definitely hooked in, you can never get the blade out of the sheath.
Right.
Can you picture what I'm saying here?
I've actually had that same thought once, that how the hell do they do that with the sheath? But it does hook in. I bet that dude bought it online from some Chinese manufacturer for like $50.
I bet he brought it.
Or that too. It could be
the
legit.
motherfucker's fresh off the plane from Pakistan.
But there's some cheap swords out there, and a lot of them.
When I was chasing those guys that broke into the building, or to my next door neighbors.
Yeah.
Next time I went to the store, they gave me free cigars. They're like, "You are a very courageous bearded man."
Oh, that's nice.
Like, yeah, it's nice.
I don't get that compliment at my grocery store or my hometown general store.
I've had a soft spot for him ever since then. But Christmas.
Yeah, sorry, we keep getting off on.
We got these
interesting things.
You gave me some notes here.
Well, I found just this list of obscure facts about Christmas from the Mirror, which is a publication in the UK. They a lot of the obscure facts were about crackers, but I'm not going to read those.
Crackers?
Apparently, Christmas crackers is a huge deal in England because like 4 of these 50 facts were about Christmas crackers. But that's neither here nor there, mostly there. But
what's up, cracker?
Is Santa a Christmas cracker? I would say so. He's not from the South, so maybe not.
Chris Cracker Kringle.
All right, so I'm just going to list these off. have the cough button ready right now.
God
Sorry.
damn it.
U.S. scientists calculated that Santa would have to visit 822 homes a second to deliver all the world's presents on Christmas Eve if he was traveling at 650 miles a second.
Now, if you incorporate all the moms he's got to bang.
On the way, all the cookies he has to eat.
Yeah. That's not even incorporating the moms he has to bang and the cookies that he has to eat. And all the milk to wash down that cookie and pussy?
Yeah, so 822 is probably more like 8,200, something like that.
Yeah.
Unless he's a
God,
quick,
Santa's busy.
unless he's a quick bang.
Good thing. Do you think the difference in time across the globe gives him a little bit extra?
I'm sure they calculated that. You still only have 24 hours.
I wonder. So on the world, the very first time period, how long is it? December 25th on the world.
On the whole world, 24 hours.
Really?
Dude, okay, I'm going to go into a tangent.
Go ahead.
So, the longest flight of my life, I got on the airplane on January 4th, and I got off the airplane on January 6th.
Whoa.
And for the longest time, it took me like a couple of days to wrap my head around how that was fucking possible. And I might still not be able to explain it, except that the flight was a 26-hour flight from the time I got on the airplane until I got off, because
And you had to get on like close to midnight, or well, not even midnight. It doesn't matter what time it was, but yeah, I understand.
so yeah, I probably got
God,
on.
this is like trying to talk about time travel.
It felt like time travel. I was like, how the fuck does that happen? But so I got on the airplane. It must have been late at night in California, and then
Wait, I want to.
was
Go ahead.
flying to China, and or flying to Hong Kong. And we were supposed to make a stop in Taipei, which eventually we did. But there was fog, so the plane had to fly around for a couple of hours, and they couldn't land. So they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go fly over to this other airport where we can land because there's no fog." And I'd already been on the airplane for like 14 hours or whatever. And so the plane lands, and then they're like, "Well, the fog cleared back at the other airport." And they'd already unloaded half the 747 and taken them to a hotel. So now I'm still on the airplane. They have to bring the people back from the hotel and get them back on the airplane. Then we take back off again. And then we finally go. And at the end, because the computer screen in front of you tells you how long you've been on the airplane and everything. And it shows you like this little cool map of where the airplane's been. And when I got off, it said 25 hours and some minutes. And I was like, no, that's impossible. But then I thought about it some more. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then I found out what the date was, and it blew my mind. It's because the opposite of the GMT time zone, where like the date actually starts. We crossed that. Anyway, blew my mind. And here's the even crazier part. I didn't piss once on that flight.
Really?
Yep. I kept maintaining a balance between dehydrated and hydrated. When I would feel a little hydrated, I'd have a free glass of wine, because they're not stingy about booze in China. And when I felt a little dry, I'd just have a little sip of water. Don't ask me why. I think I just got into the whole like wanting to be an astronaut thing, and was in the middle of an aisle with like 8 people. Anyway, another Christmas fact. Despite the tales of 3 wise men paying homage to baby Jesus, the Bible never gives a number. So that whole 3 wise men thing is just made up out of
Why 3?
not the Bible. Yeah, I don't know.
So I want to talk about these time zones. Let me.
All right, we'll get back to Christmas list later.
Yeah, right after this. Let me pose one question. So there's 24 time zones in the world.
Yeah.
All right. So when it is, let's say Alaska is the first one, and this last part of Russia is the last one.
Well, the one by Russia is the first one, and then by the time you get to Alaska, that'd be the later one.
But so if it's Christmas here and it's got a whole day before it's Christmas right here, right? And
no,
what I mean,
no, it's the other way. The first hour of Christmas is going to be over in the China-Russia section.
so the last
I believe.
Christmas is going to be in Alaska.
Yeah.
So their Christmas will already be over in China and Russia when it's almost hitting Alaska, right?
Yeah, it'll like at the very second it'll switch.
So Alaska will still have 24 hours of Christmas after that, right?
Ooh.
So what I'm thinking is every day is 2 days.
Well, it's certainly not Christmas everywhere.
No.
When it's in Alaska. Damn, that is gonna. I might be too high for this, dude. I'm telling you, I spent like 2 days trying to figure out how that was possible. Looking at time zones and doing what you're saying.
So
with the 2 days.
If this podcast is for anything, it's for answering questions. And if you hear this podcast, report back to us. We gave our information in the beginning.
Yeah, can I give it again real quick for all our time zone experts?
Yeah,
to tell us why we're retarded. All right, so our Twitter is Idiocracy Now at Idiocracy Now 1. Our email is idiocracynow@startmail.com. You want to give out the phone number for all the time zone experts?
Yeah, it's 517-897-7759. Call or text 24 hours a day.
Is it true that there are 2 days?
In one.
in one.
Somebody explain this to me. And something that's easily digestible, please.
There's 2 dates. That's the thing. There's at one time.
Does Santa?
Depending on where you are in the world, it could be one day date or it could be the other date. It can't be 3 dates, but it can be 2.
Yeah. So does Santa have time to deliver all those presents, eat all those cookies, drink all that milk, and smash all that vag?
I find it highly unlikely. I haven't believed in Santa ever. So,
first of all, he wears a belt. And then under that is an overcoat. And then I imagine would be like a white wife beater and suspenders.
Yeah, but Santa would definitely. He seems like a prepared guy. He would have a quick little zipper.
What about Santa's underwear? What's Santa?
He wears the long red ones, like a one piece.
I was imagining thin white ones with Christmas trees, like boxers.
No, it's too modern.
I bet he has a really white, bushy, curly pubes.
We need a jingle for the weekly description of somebody's dong.
Last week it was Donald Trump.
Yeah.
This week, Santa. Next week, Jesus. His cock ring. That's a halo.
So, all right, you began. I interrupted you. What does Santa's pubic hair look like?
Curly. White. Smells of cinnamon cookies.
So basically just like his beard, except in a different spot on his body.
I bet he has a quaint penis, but it's not too small. And it's the same color of his nose on those Coca-Cola advertisements.
Sure, he doesn't look like a particularly hung person.
Honestly, if you took Santa's face and flipped it upside down, you got a general idea of what his pubic area looks like.
Okay. The word Noël derives from a French expression, les bonnes nouvelles, or the good news. So Noël means the good news. All right, these are kind of boring. Let me find a good one.
What does news stand for? Is news an acronym?
It'd be like
north, east, west, south? Or is it?
I think you're looking into it too much, but
No, I'm not. Maybe I'm not. Or is it what's new? Do you have the news?
it's what's new. What's new in the world? That's the news. Like, hey, we got some news from the neighbor next door.
Let me jam you this. Talk us through this.
Jesus. All right. Jingle Bells. Jingle Bells was actually written for Thanksgiving back in 1857. And, okay, Xmas. The abbreviation Xmas isn't irreligious. The letter X is a Greek abbreviation for Christ. I bet you didn't know that.
No, I didn't.
Let's see, what else do we have here? The Many Names of Santa. We have Chris Kringle from Germany. Everybody knows that one.
My grandma was born in Germany. My father was born in Germany too. My whole family on that side. She collected Santas. My Aunt Marita has a tattoo of Santa Claus on her forearm. My Aunt Marita's 6 foot tall. She is a big woman, like not to be messed with. Got a tattoo of Santa.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a German thing. That whole Christmas market thing is huge in Germany. There's whole towns that make their income off of that. So we have Deutsche Moros, which means grandfather frost in Russian. All right, here's one that's somewhat interesting. Kissing under the mistletoe is thought to spring from Frigga, which is the Norse goddess of love, who is associated with the plant mistletoe. In Iceland, they have 13 Santas, each leaving a gift for children. They come down from the mountain one by one, and they have names like Spoon Licker, Door Sniffer, and Meat Hook.
Oh my God. 13 Santas.
Yeah, lucky bastards.
Well, I think you can get it done with 13 of them. I mean, they can work together. They're like a team of Marines, Marine Santas. They come in there, they bang your mom with the quickness. Okay, one's
of Marines.
No, Santas. 13 Santas in Iceland.
Forget.
So basically, they don't have to go the whole world. They're just in Iceland, and there's 13 of them, so they can just fucking spread out and just get that shit done.
Yeah, there's few people as there are.
Hey,
it's actually possible.
Santa 1, you deliver all the presents. Santa 2, eat the cookies. Santa 3, drink the milk. Santa 4, fuck the mom. Santa 5 through 13, hold down the kids because this is going to be loud. Santa 4's a fucking horn dog.
You're not getting any presents this year.
But your mom is.
All right. Eating a Christmas tree. Many parts of the Christmas tree can actually be eaten, with the needles being a good source of vitamin C. The holly in a wreath symbolizes Christ's crown of thorns, while the red berries are drops of his blood.
I'll pass.
Have you ever made pine needle tea?
No.
It's pretty good. Tastes like you'd imagine.
One time in a tangent. One time in a drunken stupor, it was midday and I was almost the fifth down, and I had been watching too much Bear Grylls. And I found a coffee can. I put some firewood in a wheelbarrow and a can of gas, and like put a hatchet in there. And my dad lives on a farm surrounded by like a huge field, and there's woods like probably about 1,000 yards back, and there's divots in the field, and I was going across the divots trying to get to the woods, and my dad whistled at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
What were you doing? I
was going to.
It sounds weird.
I said, I'm gonna boil pine needles, and I'm gonna live in the woods.
Oh, okay, I was imagining you as like a full-grown adult, just like doing weird shit.
I was about 22 at the time.
I'm moving out. Fuck you, Dad.
Yeah,
I got pine needles.
I was, if you would have let me go, dude, I would have passed out and probably died of exposure or something.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. Up here on the moon base.
It's cold. It's cold on the moon
Our
base.
Skype's working pretty well today.
Yeah, it is. And if you ever catch us on YouTube, you would know that that the moon is not so far away.
Yeah, you might also notice how handsome we both are.
Yep. Yeah. That means you think I'm handsome. This just got weird.
All right, let's let's move on to another clip here, maybe.
All right.
Do you have something ready, or?
Yeah, let's go for let me think. I've been seeing trends about lock him up with the Michael Flynn thing. I guess he started that at the Republican convention.
Michael Flynn said that
about Hillary. Lock her up,
yeah.
lock her up.
Yeah.
So he
Everybody knows that one.
He got indicted, or didn't he?
Yeah, he got indicted. I'm pretty sure that's right.
And so they were chanting "lock him up," and they've been doing it to Trump too. Here's his motorcade arriving to chants of "lock him up" in New York City.
Lock him up, lock him up, lock him up, lock him up, traitor, lock him up, traitor.
I can only watch so much of this.
Who's this from?
This is Tony's 24/7 Eyes on YouTube. He's got 22,000 subscribers. Check him out.
Yeah, that's a new chant. I haven't heard that one yet. I'm surprised I haven't.
Expect more of that, especially with the election coming up in 2 years.
Yeah. If he's not already impeached or something.
When do they start? When does that start?
Any day now. No, it'll start after the next election. Pretty much right after that.
I want to say I'm just going to leave this one alone, but I'll probably get sucked into it.
So it'll start towards the end of 2019. I think it would be. I'm gonna really fire off.
I hope I don't get sucked into it.
I hope I don't.
It consumed a lot of my time.
Yeah. It depends on who's running again. I don't know.
The hours that we spent in line at that Bernie rally that we went to together.
Yeah, it was like not very many hours. I skipped through the line. I didn't wait and shit.
Yeah, you didn't. You had a media pass.
I had this. This is a good tip. Is you can just print off your own press credentials if you do any sort of media work. It's totally fine. Credentials just say who you are and who you're doing stuff for. But yeah, I got into the media area, standing right next to the New York Times and all those kind of people, just as little old me with my YouTube channel.
He was at MSU at the Breslin Stadium.
So, all right, do you think, what are the odds on Bernie running again, do you think?
I think he has a chance. If the thing that fucked him up last time was Hillary. A lot of people don't understand that the reason that Donald Trump is in office, in my opinion, is because he went against Hillary. And if it would have been Bernie versus Trump,
I agree.
He would have won. The popular and electoral.
He's just running out of time, though. That's the thing. Is he's getting old, and you have to be president for 4 years. I'm not sure how old he is, but I think he's older than Trump.
You know who lives the longest? The people that have a routine, especially with their diet. And it seems like if anybody has a good routine with their diet, it's going to be Bernie Sanders.
I have no idea. I have no idea what his diet's like.
He just seems like a guy that would eat well.
Well, he's like, from Vermont, dude, and there's so many organic farms and everything in Vermont. Mm-hmm. Buddy of mine's got.
I mean, he's on the road a lot, but I can still like. I want my one egg. I want my one piece of toast. With my cantaloupe, and that might work for him.
Yeah, that sounds like a Bernie meal. So mm-hmm. I would love it if it somehow was Bernie, Hillary, and the Trump again, because then I can really tune out.
Yeah. That's oh my god, I would blow my brains out. America would have fatigue.
They would. Everyone would just.
Dude, everybody's tired already.
I don't care who is the president.
Did you ever release any of that yelling at Bernie?
No. Okay, so
tell the people about this. I got some really good seats. So while he was messing around with his camera, I was with I think my friend Taylor, and we got a seat right where the players walk into the stadium. So coincidentally, that's where Bernie was, and I sat right over that, and we got to talk to him. We got to watch the Secret Service go back and forth, and it was pretty cool. We got to watch him for longer than anybody else did.
Yeah, like when he was about to come out, we could kind of see through the cracks of the curtains that he was standing there with his Secret Service.
We were peeking.
And so
to the point where
I
the
was
Secret,
waiting.
yeah,
I was waiting to record because I wanted to get a confrontation is what
the Secret Service yelled at
I
you.
call it.
Yeah, you said. I
said,
remember the question?
Yeah, absolutely. I said, "Hey Bernie, don't you think it's time to talk about Hillary's criminal past? Hey Bernie, don't you think it's time to mention the Clinton Foundation and its ties to gun running?" I think that was pretty much exactly the quote.
I think I have a picture on my 3 cell phones ago of his notes that I zoomed in.
Yeah, well, that's for hopefully he'll run again because I didn't release that. I tried to. I put this whole 10-minute video, highly edited, took me all day, and then as I was uploading it to YouTube, it was describing Hillary's ties to Saudi Arabian gun running and things like that. And in the beginning of that clip was the beginning of the video was me yelling at Bernie and the Secret Service saying, stop yelling at Bernie.
Yeah.
And as I was uploading it to YouTube, all these files got corrupted, and I was back to square one again. I was like, Jesus Christ, I just spent all day, and then I just never got around to it. And then I was like, well, it's been a month now, so I guess I just won't do that. But
I met Hillary Clinton one time. Well, I didn't meet her. I got to shake her hand and look into her eyes, and it was scary. It was the first time that she ran.
You actually touched her?
Yeah.
Ooh.
She came to a little town in mid-Michigan where I grew up. And it was my first time ever going to a political rally. I have never seen such a crazy spectacle. So where I live, there's this huge river, and there's a bridge that goes over it. And the bridge was just lined with protesters holding up signs with dead babies and aborted fetuses. And, I was a huge Clinton fan, I was like, Bill Clinton is the man, first black president. He's awesome. I even bought a Bush W worst sticker, I was young and naive. Everybody's a Democrat when they're young. And I remember talking to these protests. I was like, yeah, that shit's wrong, but why do you got to have those pictures out? And they're like, we just need to show people. I'm like, yeah, fuck.
We're trying to shock everybody.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, that's what it was. And I remember looking into her eyes, and it was like looking into the eyes of I just remember them. They were piercing, like wolf eyes.
I could see that. Yeah.
I didn't like it. And after I that encounter, it wasn't right. And I switched to Obama, no problem.
Oh yeah, I bought that.
Yeah,
for sure. I was like, all right, I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
I used to be a Democrat too. But even when I was working in politics, I worked at the Republican office.
Yeah,
with Republican lawmakers, and I always felt like a mole because I'd sit there and watch Fox News all day on my computer because I didn't have shit to do. And this was after my bitch job as a page. I moved down to one of the offices, and I would just sit there and watch Fox News all the time, and just be like, oh my god, these people are lying to us constantly, and fuck Bush, fuck this, and but somewhere along the lines, I was no longer considering myself a Democrat or a progressive. Actually, I met Jimmy Carter once. I shook his hand.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a national treasure.
He seems all right. We went to his church and he did a sermon.
His last name is your first name.
I was named after him, even though it's not my real name. But my parents were hardcore progressive.
I'm gonna name my second son Bush.
Yeah, nobody names their kids Bush, do they?
Hey, what's up, Bush?
People name their kids Reagan. Boy or girl, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Bush. Clinton. There's not very many Clintons, but I bet there are.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Clint's.
Black dudes.
Ah,
Clint. Yeah.
I'm Clint. First name's Clinton.
Yeah, nowadays I stray away from being a member of either of those parties.
Dude, So my last name is Redmond. Trump Redmond has a ring to it.
It does. That sounds pretty good. I'm all for it.
So speaking of Trump,
You want to play my autism clip? Is that what you mean?
no, I had a
just
clip.
kidding.
I had a clip. You have an autism clip?
Sort of. It ties into something else, but yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do this first. So Trump speaks at the GOP tax bill celebration. This is CNN.
Oh yeah. So that was just today. The tax bill passed. I saw
They
that
have-
while I was waiting in the waiting room.
Their YouTube channel has 2.5 million subscribers, and I am not one of them. But it never reflects their views.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right. It says 5. Sorry, I did bust in there, but yeah, that many subscribers and only 5,000 views. Those numbers do not add up.
Yep. So I listened to it, and it's just him bragging about what's going on. There's only one. A lot of white men behind him. One black guy, and he puts him up front. But he says something really dickish halfway through this, and here's what it is.
Always a lot of fun when you win. If you work hard and lose, that's not acceptable. But I'm just going to name a few.
So
Trump.
Yeah. Fucking asshole. It would suck to be his son. I mean, did you work hard? Yeah.
No,
Did it not work out for you? No, I tried my hardest. It's unacceptable.
I just imagine he probably just like popped in weekly and was like, "Hey, are you winning?" Sounds like, yeah.
Few names and
Oh yeah, all right, good to go. I'll see you next week, son. Something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know. But
All right. And since we're No Agenda fans, I found this at the end of the
I,
clip.
sir, am not a fan. I am a producer.
You are a producer.
Yep.
We soon will be co-producers.
Yeah. We're-
Idiocracy Now is going to be donating money to No Agenda
for sure.
in the morning. Here to Adam Curry and Mr. John C. Dvorak.
means jobs. So it's going to be really a very special period of time.
Some jobs for you.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure they got that already.
Yeah, I know. But I found it and it excited me, and it got put in.
Jobs. You just like any kind of job.
Here's another clip. I found this. This is also on CNN. I'll play a little bit of it.
Emma Run Gibson is a happy and healthy baby. Born November 25th of this year, she is less than a month old. But baby Emma has been frozen for over 2 decades, conceived around the same time as the mother who gave birth to her.
I was like, wow, if this embryo had been born when it was supposed to have been, I was like, Dr. Heenan, we could have been best friends. I was like,
So
Jesus,
first of
that
all,
is fucking nuts, dude.
all right.
That is crazy. That baby's 24 years old already.
Yeah. First and foremost, if I was married to that woman, I would not stop mocking her. Like, oh my God. She's like, did you get the French fries?
Can you back it up 20 seconds or whatever?
Yeah. No problem, Alex Jones.
God damn it. Stop
But
the
baby
hammering.
Emma has been frozen for over 2 decades, conceived around the same time as the mother who gave birth to her.
That's crazy.
I was like, wow, if this embryo had been born when it was supposed to have been, I was like, Dr. Heenan, we could have been best friends. I was like, I'm only
Thousands
25.
Ben and Tina Gibson are the proud
you
parents
think
of
he's a
baby Emma,
transgender?
who is now the
that's
longest
why
known
they
frozen
had to do
embryo
this?
to come to birth. When the Gibsons decided to pursue in vitro fertilization
He
to
could be.
adopt an
All right,
embryo,
so, okay.
they had no
So the embryo comes from the female, and the semen
Yeah,
goes into the...
an embryo would be like a multi-celled an egg that has been fertilized and grown a little bit. So yeah, that's fucking nuts. 25 years, 24 years. That's the future right there, man. We are getting into the future for sure.
So I don't know, like, if you think a lot, an embryo is an early stage of development of a multinuclear diploid, big word, organism. So
Diploid.
diploid. What does that say? It's far away.
An embryo is an early stage of development in a multicellular diploid eukaryotic organism.
A diploid eukaryotic organism.
Yeah.
So his semen had to.
His semen already did the work. Wait, a baby spent 24 years. Yeah, his semen already did the work, but those people looked way too young for that. It must not be their actual baby. Must be like an adopted embryo.
Yeah, it is. Because she was born around the time that was donated.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. That's absolutely mind-blowing.
What is the difference between an embryo and a fetus? The
Time.
embryo refers to the first stage of development of a baby from the moment of fertilization. So an embryo is a fertilized egg.
Yeah, that's grown a little bit. And then if it grows more, it becomes a fetus.
It is a fetus from 8 weeks of conception.
I went to high school.
I did too. But I was just there to sell that tree.
Yeah, I might have been there for that
Yo,
too.
I had a quarter pound broke down into eighths in a dare bag on my first day of high school.
In a dare bag.
Sold them all in the bathroom.
I used to carry around my video camera case packed full of brownies, $10 a pop. Everybody was so high.
No, my dad, I hope there's a statute of limitations, but my dad, he was like,
we're good.
He's like, you do that. He told me, do that. And I was like, okay, well, where am I going to get the weed? He's like, right here.
Dude, one of the first times, if not the first time I actually ran into you was at your dad's house, and you walked in the room and you were like, hey dad, guess what? I totally took these guys. I sold them like an eighth for $100. Isn't that great, Dad? And your dad's like, yeah, that's pretty sweet. And you're like, yeah, this is great. We're partners.
I was a horrible person.
And I didn't know you at all. I didn't talk to you again for years.
So they bought a baby. They bought a baby egg.
Yeah, that was probably
expensive. All right, so the woman, 24 years ago, a woman gets pregnant. And right at that moment, she's like, I'm going to donate this inside of me?
Yeah, you can donate.
Or what if was she an organ donor and she died and they took...
They probably fertilized her eggs that she donated. Like I know people that, or I know this one woman who kind of makes a living. She donated a bunch of her eggs and got tens of thousands of dollars. And so there's people that do that, and they probably just made a little test tube embryo, I would guess. And then froze it.
So this baby, it's a baby girl. Man, I don't know. If you told me right now that I was frozen for 24 years, that would fuck me up.
This is some real life Encino Man type of stuff.
But that would fuck me up. I would ponder that.
Maybe you'd be like off kilter. You'd be like, you'd feel like, I just don't feel like I'm in the right time.
Hey, wear your coat. You know what? I really don't need it. I was frozen for 24 and a half fucking years.
Yeah, some DNA changes could happen, dude. Yeah, I would love to see. I can't wait to see if anything weird happens to that baby. She's probably not the only one.
That baby, it looks
plenty more to come.
She looks warm.
She looks really warm in this picture. Yeah.
I was wow. That's just hard to think about.
I have some interesting thing about the future. It's actually about now. It's about what's going on now.
Let's do it.
But it resembles, I think, or it's like something that's kind of becoming more of a thing, and that's people developing relationships with technology. And I'm going to play this clip here from NPR.
Phone service. Well, if you're Judith Newman, you write a column in the New York Times to Siri, women's feet, and when he was... What if your child loved what he called feeties, women's feet, and when he was young, he'd mew like a kitten down around painted toes? Or he'd talk to anyone about trains and his and New York City's beloved Grand Central Station while hopping and flapping his arms. And what if he had a relationship with Siri, the iPhone service? Well, if you're Judith Newman, you write a column in the New York Times, To Siri with Love. This was in 2014. It went viral. Then she wrote a book with the same title about raising her autistic child, Gus. The book, To Siri with Love, A Mother, Her Autistic Son, and the Kindness of Machines, is often hilarious, often heartbreaking, and it's provoked some backlash from autism activists who feel Judith shared too many details about Gus and his love of feeties and other things. But the New York Times picked it for one of the most notable reads of 2017, and Judith Newman joins us from the NPR studios in New York. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, and that brings us to Siri. He has, a very sweet relationship with Siri. And it was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. You transcribed some of the conversations that you hear. Here's one at bedtime. Gus, Siri, will you marry me? Siri, I'm not the marrying kind. Gus, not now, I'm a kid. When I'm grown up. Siri, my end user agreement does not include marriage. Gus, oh, okay. And then this one I love. He turns over to go to sleep after that. Gus, good night, Siri. Will you sleep well tonight? Siri, I don't need much sleep, but it's nice of you to ask. And as you write, very nice.
Yeah.
That's disturbing.
It's a bit odd.
I guess it's the new age Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah. Well, the way I see it is, and I understand how, autistic kids, they get along with technology, and, I'm not bashing autism. I love autism, but no, just what I see, or what I was listening, what I saw when I was listening to this report. I was driving down the road, and my mind has been warped by the Alex Jones world a little bit. I see that sinister motivations behind a lot of the big media outlets. NPR being like this super hardcore psychological warfare as like a brainwashing technique on the country a little bit. Like that's how I'm the filter I'm seeing this through. And what I see with this one is it's just saying how wonderful it is. Like she says, it's just this lovely friendship that this boy has with Siri.
It didn't sound like it. Will you marry me? No. Are you gonna sleep well? I don't sleep, bitch.
Yeah, she's not.
Siri, I'm hungry.
Siri
bitch, I never eat.
She doesn't seem to play along as much.
No.
But I just see it as like fucking sick, because just the radio host is like buying into this delusion that Siri is like a thing. I know she knows it's not, but like subconsciously, people are seeing these like robots and these sex dolls and this Siri thing as like an entity that you can have a relationship with, and I just see it as mental illness to think you can have a relationship with a fucking talking computer. Like I see it going more that way in the future, like for sure. Not just autistic kids, there was that movie about the guy that had a relationship with basically Siri, and I don't know, I just see that going along some more. I have some other things to tie into that, but
I got a comment about that. You'd be better served. I remember when I was real young, back in middle school, I used to come home and use my uncle's computer. He lived upstairs, and he had this program on his computer where I could type in whatever I wanted, and the computer would say it back to me. Yeah. So why wouldn't, like, his mom could just set up a program? I'm sure it'd be so easy, like the board that you have over there with different jingles, but like, Siri, will you marry me? Yes, I will. Not right now. I'm a kid. Oh, I know, but you're a prince, and soon you'll be a king. And then he'll go to sleep, probably feel a lot better.
Man, I hope I remember that if I ever become autistic.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that for myself.
Yeah,
but
it's the autistic version of you're gonna do great today. People like you. You're somebody.
Yeah, that was another part of that show, is he would tell Siri all the great things that he did. Another thing I noticed in that report, or that woman's book, is I think that story, those lines she put out about her son having this conversation with Siri before he went to bed, I think that's total bullshit. Was she in the room while her son was going to bed talking to Siri? Why wouldn't he be talking to her if she was in the room, you know? Was she recording her son while he went to bed? Maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past her.
Or did she just write that shit saying, "Oh, this sounds good. I wish my son had talked like this to Siri," you know?
Yeah, let's Google her, see if she has any ties.
I kind of wanted to, but she probably is just a well-meaning liberal that the New York Times picked up off the street.
She is not worth a Google.
Not worth the Google, no.
Not worth the Google at all.
No. I'll have to get that jingle, too.
That would be awesome.
So one other story. Well,
You said you had something that tied into that.
yeah. It's just this story about the headline is "Scientists hope to inject RoboCat with AI to help seniors." That's a false headline. They want to put a chip in an already toy cat to make it smarter to give to old people. So these old people can have a robot cat laying around that will remind them if they have an appointment and all this shit like that. So just imagine that some old person's hanging out and
I see when
the fucking robot talking to it.
I think I seen that on Drudge, and what immediately popped up in my mind was those Boston Dynamics guys with those robotic cat-like things.
Yeah, those little cheetahs, I think.
Yeah, with the little hand and boom arm that comes off of their head. I was immediately thinking of like that. I'm like, I'll get you like cans of what are they? Ovaltine.
Yeah, in this article it says they won't actually do any chores for them. It's just about like companionship.
No,
So like
it's a fucking oversized Furby.
it's just what we're gonna do in the future with like our
Change
autistic
your
people.
underwear. Take your pills.
The autistic people and the old people are just gonna be hanging out with robots, and we're gonna just be like, whatever, dude. But as
Being
long-
being the Alzheimer's wing. Don't leave. You live here.
yeah, that'd probably be helpful, man. Those places are nightmares.
Apply ointment to your sores.
So I was in a
Roll over. You're gonna get bed sores.
I was in a
Empty out your pee jar.
Do you have anything else?
I'm out.
I was trying to go into I was at a clinic today, like not a methadone clinic,
Put your teeth in.
but you know,
Take your teeth
my
out.
daughter was sick, and we go into the clinic, and
Oh yeah, sorry.
it's you walk in, and before you get to the window, there's this little kiosk, and you're supposed to use this touchscreen kiosk.
No.
I'm like, what the fuck? So
You got a glove?
I pressed like with my knuckle, you know, I pressed like, it said, "Are you here? Are you registered online, or are you just here as a walk-in?" And I pressed walk-in with my knuckle, and then it was like, "All right, type in your name, your birth date, on all this shit." And I'm like,
Press your palm. Press your palm here.
just lick it. But the second thing it asked was your symptoms. It says, "What are your symptoms?" You know, just didn't actually say it, which reminded me of Idiocracy, which is just kind of one of those coincidences.
It is.
We named it the other day Idiocracy Now, and I go into the not the hospital, but basically, and it's got this kiosk asking me my symptoms, wanting me to touch all this dirty shit, and that's insanity. Why would you have a touch screen at a fucking Medicare where everybody's miserable and sick?
Yeah. Hey, all the sick people, please line up and touch this stone.
Yeah, like not even once. Touch this stone like
A
50
lot.
times, like to put your name, your phone number, all this bullshit. So I went
Stand over it and let your nose run on it.
I went up to the window and I was like, "Yeah, I can't do that."
I don't want to.
I
Did they
said-
do all the work for you?
And yeah, I just talked to the girl, but I literally said, "I can't do that. It reminds me too much of the movie Idiocracy." And she chuckled a little bit and just took my information, and you know,
That's an option, folks.
you can talk to a person.
Yeah.
You can, when you go to the store, you can actually check out in a checkout lane
Yeah, there's a line.
with a person.
But there's a line. And all the
Usually,
diehard motherfuckers are in that line. But you know what? I respect that line.
I'll go in that line, even if I just have a few things, if I have enough time.
At my local grocery store, they just put in a, I would say it's like a Z, but it's like a double Z that you have to walk through.
Yeah.
Just to get to the self-checkout lines. And
It's called herding cattle.
yeah, I can't do that. I can't do it.
That's the future, man. We're gonna be all touching computer screens all everywhere we go. No people working anywhere. Well, that's another thing. Smart meters. I have a smart meter now on the side of my house, so the guy doesn't have to come and read my meter like he used to.
Yeah.
He's out of a job.
Oh yeah. my the guys that pick up my garbage, they now have a machine that just sticks an arm out and grabs it and dumps it in there. But
at least that's a shitty job they're replacing.
Yeah, but fuck, yeah.
It's just the way it's going.
Don't take my shitty job. You know, that's a job.
A garbage actually pays well. I used to know a garbage guy. He liked it because it was his best paying job he'd ever had.
So my thing is I'm allowed 3 trash bags to be outside my trash can. So no matter what, every week, even if I have enough trash to fit in my container, I'm going to take 1 bag out and set it aside. So they have to get out and throw it in. And I might just, get on a nut and just go right down the street and just pull trash cans out of everybody's bins.
You will not coalesce.
No, I don't. I will not capitulate.
I think that's the right word. Coalescence.
Yeah.
You will not go along with the reptilian agenda. You're gonna leave your trash outside of your can. God damn it! What a great person you are.
How do you spell coalesce?
I have no idea. It's probably a longer word than that. It's like non-compliance, I think. But there was a kiosk at Secretary of State too that was really Idiocracy like, because the kiosk wasn't working properly and it was giving people like bad advice, so the line just backed up really far and everyone was really confused. And for like 15 minutes, everyone was just standing there getting pissed off because they weren't getting further into the cattle chamber of the Secretary of State, and until a human came up and was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, that machine doesn't work right now. Just come on over here." But people had been standing in this line for like 10, 15 minutes, like 20 people, just wondering why it wasn't moving, and it was because the stupid kiosk was broken.
It's we're all walking blindly to our deaths, and I hate to say it, but it's horrible. So I went to the store. So for this
That's
motherfucker,
a great way to start a story.
This motherfucker right here. So I'm walking out of the store and I see this guy, and he's running in the parking lot. And then I look to the left and there's a car backing up, like almost hitting him. And he's like, "You see that motherfucker?" I was like, "Yeah, but you were looking at your phone."
Dude, I saw a zombie walking through the parking lot that wasn't looking at his phone today. And the sad thing was, it was a guy that I used to hang out with that I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I was just like, I looked behind me. I was like, can I just back up before he sees me? And I just drove right by him. But he was like literally stumbling like a zombie, which he half is, but
I think I had
kind of freaky.
One and only Facebook post was, if you see me in the grocery store, please do not come and talk to me. Please don't. I don't want to. I don't want to.
You didn't go there to socialize.
Well, first of all, here's my thing with this. You see somebody in the grocery store and you say bye to them, right? You sit there and you talk. How's the kids? What are you doing for work? How's your mother? Blah, blah, blah. And then you go about your shopping experience. And then you see them in the next aisle over like 25 minutes later.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, hey...
Here's what I do.
You always stop. Do we talk again? Or
it's super awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. You just give a head nod and be like, okay, so we're just here occupying the same space. So what I always do, when I see somebody in the grocery store, I always have the same conversation. It's like a pre-packaged conversation. Hey, how you doing? How's the kids? What you doing for work? Blah 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 blah. Hey. And don't say goodbye because we're going to see each other again.
That's a good one.
Then when you see each other again, hey, I told you so. And then you have a laugh. You have a laugh, and then you keep going.
That's great. I might use that one because
Yeah, you got to.
I'm such a pussy.
Prepackaged conversations, man.
I'll see they're going towards the bread, and I'm like, well, guess I'm not getting bread this week.
Yeah, you will. I will hide. I was like, did he see me? Did she see me? Man, I can't afford a 30, 40 second conversation with this person.
Yeah, I wish they would just send a robot in their place, and I wouldn't have to talk to him.
Uh-huh.
I ran into one of my old school teachers at Barnes & Noble the other day, and we did that. It was a good conversation. He was a really strange guy. He didn't teach class. He just told us kids that we could teach ourselves. And so I talked with him for a minute, and he said he wanted to smoke a joint with me someday. But as soon as the conversation was over, I was like, well, I should probably get out of here. I don't want to just, walk into him again and be like, oh, hey. Because the way we said goodbye was like, I might never see you again. You're 82,
Yeah, don't make it weird with an 82-year-old. It's already weird enough.
Yeah, his cat is 78 in cat years.
Wow.
He let me know that a few times. You want to go to our next segment?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, that is a segment that has yet to be named. Let's try this puppy. #MeTooReport.
She grabbed my dick. Ooh.
Smooth as silk.
It is smooth as silk. So, yeah, she grabbed my dick.
We've been over this one.
I know, I like this, but while we're talking about dicks, I'd like I don't know why. I like the dick description every show.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good addition.
So if you don't remember, last week we Googled Donald Trump's dick, and it has hair of gold. It's
for me. I'm over here doing something.
It's thick. His ball sack is seamless and wrinkleless because it's steam pressed. And it's glorious.
Yeah, and we pulled up a picture, and that's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, and the ring that he has mid-shaft is gold. And if you zoom in, it says Trump Tower.
All right, we're all set. Did you have some Me Too coverage to talk about this week? No, just me.
Yeah.
All right, I don't have a proper clip. I don't think. I just have this article about Miss Bum Bum.
Yeah, Miss Bum Bum.
And I'm sure I'm not the only person that knows about Miss Bum Bum.
Who is Miss Bum Bum?
Miss Bum Bum is it's a Brazilian contest on. It's like the Brazilian beauty pageant.
It's like Miss America, but it's just Miss Bum Bum.
Yeah, but it's all about the ass.
Yeah.
And she got pinched on the butt after the Miss Bum Bum contest. There was like an after party, and someone pinched her on the butt, and she had filed a police report, or urged her bosses to, I think. And I don't know, I just thought that was kind of a little absurd. She said, even Miss Bum Bum, deserves some respect. I'm like, yeah, but you are Miss Bum Bum, and you're out there shaking your ass all night.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna happen.
It's some people just go blind with some like deers get into ruts, male elephants get into ruts, where you just but you know what, you're a human man and you have no excuse. You better leave that butt alone.
Well, the dude probably shouldn't have pinched it. I just thought it was kind of interesting.
No, that's rude. But, Miss Bum Bum would have never made it to us unless that little butt of hers got pinched. So she's got to be grateful for it.
Yeah, now you know about her, even though you don't really know her name.
I bet you Miss Bum Bum would not take that pinch away.
I don't know. It probably happens a lot. She probably hates it.
But would she take it away? For all this exposure?
I have no idea. I don't think she's getting a whole lot of exposure. I think it was
I'm
just
not
me prowling the internet and I found a weird link. I was like, oh,
cool.
what's this?
Yeah, I'm not condoning it by any means, but I bet you if she could trade one butt pinch for some fame and fortune, for some exposure, she would. I would. The fucking butt pinch. Get the fuck over it. Especially, you're from Brazil. I would figure chicks from Brazil would be like tough.
See, that's my vision.
Tougher?
I'm not sure, I don't know anything really about Brazil, but in my mind, just like the Asians think we're all cowboys, I think they're all like sex maniacs for some reason.
Well,
do you have an opinion about Brazilians?
Well, she's sexualizing herself right here, obviously.
Yeah, she looks like a freaking weightlifter. A lot of them do. They're just like, I'm just going to do leg presses all day.
I mean, it's truly spectacular what she's got going on. But get the fuck over it. Come over here and let me objectify you.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a similar contest to that anywhere in the United States. I've never heard of it. But yeah, I think the Miss Bum Bum.
If there was a contest, if there was a bum bum contest going, I wouldn't go.
Wait, what are you going to do? Like go and what? No, I wouldn't either.
It's like, I'm here with all these other horny guys.
Wait till it's online.
A whole bunch of fucking weird alpha males. Like, I want that, bro.
Dude, the High Times Cannabis Cup was weird enough.
Yeah, I always...
We went twice in the same year.
So I always find myself a part of groups. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So I like hip-hop. Hip-hop is my favorite kind of music. It's what I grew up listening to. I love it. I love it. I got into Dave Matthews when I was drinking. And I went to a Dave Matthews concert. And I hated everybody there. I was like, shut up. Why are you dancing all fucking weird? How come all the rich people are up front and all the poor people in the back? It's just like, this is all fucked up setup. It's like, it's not what I imagine a Dave Matthews concert would be. And then,
all right, here's what I imagine it would be like, and tell me if it's true. I'm going as far as Hawaiian shirts and sandals, and not very many, but then a lot of those dudes wearing like the little like taxi cab hats, like those taxi cab driver hats.
Yep.
I don't know what else.
A lot of people closing their eyes
Unbuttoned.
and flailing their arms in the air. It's
wow, I wonder what people were selling. There's a bunch of people on ecstasy watching Dave Matthews. I bet Dave Matthews used to be a huge heroin addict or something, didn't he?
I haven't heard that.
I think he was. I'm pretty sure.
I hope not.
I think he's got songs about heroin. I could be making that up, but somebody told me that once.
You know what? I'm such a fan. I hope it's wrong.
All right, let's see here.
Okay, so
you can Google it. It's worth a Google.
So yeah, I found myself loving Dave Matthews and not fitting in with the crowd. And then I smoke a lot of pot, and I've always been a fan of the culture. For God's sakes, I've been
like the pot culture, you mean?
Yeah. I've been doodling pot leaves before I've ever smoked.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you were still doodling them to this day. Do you ever doodle pot leaves?
Not anymore.
I haven't done that since high school.
No.
Probably.
But yeah, I don't like that. So I go to a hip hop concert. I just think I don't like people. When we went to the
could be public spaces.
Yeah, the Cannabis Cup. Yeah. Like all the people were fucking weird.
It was a lot of different kinds of people.
I don't like people that wear pot leaves.
Yeah, generally I don't really either, generally. Yeah, it's not like they wear them every day. I'm sure some of those people did, though. There was people that were old, like 80-year-olds. There was dudes, flying around on skateboards. There was a lot of, like, super hardcore gangster-looking dudes that I would never, ever even dream about fucking with.
I was one of them.
Yeah, well, we both were.
What's up, motherfucker?
I don't know what other kind of people were there.
I'm the one that pinched Miss Bum Bum on the ass and got away with it. Did they catch that guy?
No, they didn't catch him.
He pinched her bum and got away with it.
And
now he's gonna strike again, and he's gonna pinch another girl on the bum, while other people are getting away with rapes.
They were going to look at the closed circuit television cameras, is what the article mentioned, but they hadn't caught him.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
What a lucky man. What a rapist. What is that? What should his punishment be?
Yeah, his punishment?
Yeah.
Slap in the face.
Slap in the face. I think that's fair.
Slap in the face. Maybe 2.
Hard one.
Maybe like depending on on what she's
her or like she gets to pick somebody. If it's her, twice.
Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, I was thinking if her
2 slaps or a kick in the balls.
Boyfriend could punch him in the stomach.
Ooh, that could kill a man though.
A boyfriend punch in the stomach.
I just imagine so I'm generalizing here, but aren't all Brazilians fucking huge and muscly?
So. No, I don't.
And they're like, I punch you in the stomach.
We only hang out at the beach
and play soccer. And they talk French.
Yeah. Well, Portuguese is like French mixed with Spanish, so you're not too far off.
I'm not too far. God, I'm so smart. Thanks, man. You brighten up my day.
Do you have a YouTube channel of the week this week?
Yes, I do.
Did we already cover that one?
YouTube channel of the week. I love these. The YouTube channel of the week is Steven Crowder, and mainly for his Change My Mind series. He's got 1.1 million subscribers on YouTube, and the Change His Mind series, he goes to a college and sets up a table. And he just he invites an open dialogue, and it's pretty ballsy, and it's honestly it looks like a lot of footwork. I mean, because he's got to bring a crew out there, set up, and
this is all new to me.
Yeah, he does a podcast. He's got his co-host is a guy named Not Gay Jared. He's pretty funny. They also do like skits and stuff like that. He has a bunch of different guests, Jordan Peterson from Ted Nugent to Ted Cruz. But the Change My Mind series, he sits down, he goes, I'm pro-gun, change my mind. And then he starts having a conversation with somebody, and then a crowd gathers, and then he gets into a decent debate. And he's always polite, and he always has his facts on hand. He speaks very fast. So
yeah, that sounds great. It sounds like a good brain exercise, at least for him, but probably for everybody.
The other one is I'm pro-life, change my mind. There's 2 genders, change my mind, and the last one was kind of weak. Kwanzaa's not legitimate holiday, change my mind.
I was going to bring that up this week. I was going to try to educate myself on Kwanzaa so I could educate the listeners.
Kwanzaa was made up by a black guy in the United States. We changed his name to something that was very African. Dropped the white slave name that he had.
Right.
And so it's entirely American. People that come over from Africa, like, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Are you sure they don't celebrate it in Africa?
Not yet.
Huh.
No.
I'm pretty sure they
celebrate. We did not know Kwanzaa. No.
Sounds a little Caribbean.
Me not wanna know Kwanzaa, boy. Kwanzaa full of chaos.
They celebrate Kwanzaa at my daughter's school. I'm pretty sure they celebrate everything.
You have to be all inclusive.
Except for Satan, as far as I know.
Satan, yeah.
Satan.
I have something on Drudge I picked up today.
I checked it out.
Something on Drudge. I was heartbroken when I realized that the whole Alex Jones show was him reading Drudge.
Yeah, you can just go to the Drudge page,
and then
when his show starts,
when
you're all caught up. Pretty much.
Yeah, don't read Drudge before you listen to the Alex Jones show, because they cover it. That's pretty much all Alex Jones content.
It'd be like if we just did everything No Agenda did. Like, all right, we'll just do, every story that they did.
It's basically they take screenshots of the fucking the articles. They put them on Alex Jones' desk. I got 72 articles today.
I think that's exactly how they do it.
72. 72 articles today.
Yeah.
I mean, check it out. Check it out.
Drudge is great though. As far as those kind of sites go, Drudge is pretty awesome. They'd come up with a lot of shit that if it wasn't there, it'd be hard to find.
And they break shit very soon.
Yeah, they're right on it. I wonder how many people work there.
Roberto Esquivel Cabrera has the world's biggest penis, measuring a whopping 18.9 inches.
Was that on Drudge?
It's on Drudge. Although
Really?
he has refused the reduction surgery and hopes to pursue a career in porn industry, he claims his massive appendage is actually a disability. He said, and I quote, "I cannot wear a uniform like anybody in the companies. And I also cannot get on my knees. I cannot run fast, so the companies think badly of me. So they say they will call me, but they never do."
Poor bastard.
Yeah. So, and the funny thing is, they have pictures of it, and the motherfucker's got it like wrapped up in gauze. He's standing there so proudly, and he's got the weirdest look on his face. You can tell.
Where is he from?
He's probably Mexico. Probably Brazil. He's probably the guy that pinched that girl on the ass.
Is he mentally handicapped? Because I heard that retards have huge dongs.
Retards have huge dongs. Yes.
I knew somebody whose brother was a retard, mentally handicapped, and so the brother of one had the longest wang I've ever heard about. That when he sat on the toilet seat, passed out drunk, and his friend had to lift him up, his dick was hanging in the water.
Wow. One of my first raps was, "When I have a kid, I'm going to spoil it and bless it with a dick so big so when it shits, it dips in the toilet." Yeah.
You're an inspiration to all.
I love that shit. But hold on, I'm going to bring this shit up. I was going to go somewhere with this. But yeah, it's truly yeah, I'm done. But if you look it up, it's crazy.
Let's see. I'm going to see if I got anything else. Is there any more interview questions you want to do? We're running pretty long, a lot longer than show number 1. You want to give out that phone number again?
517-897-7759. 24 hours a day. Call or text, please. Any ideas, anything you want us to learn and regurgitate to you, we will do that. We will feed you like little baby birds.
I'm okay with troll messages too.
Yeah. I love negative comments, or like a really good burn, a zinger. I wanted to try to explain net neutrality. This popped up in my head, and there's been a lot of videos on how to explain it, net neutrality for idiots and such. And the only thing I can come up with is if Ford owned the freeway, right? And you had a Chevy, and they wouldn't let you drive the speed limit. But all Fords could drive 70, but all Chevys had to drive 55.
I think that's supposedly what we have now. See, I get really confused about this net neutrality because to me it's like a double negative. Because the net neutrality that they want to put in place is if you want to save net neutrality, I believe that means you want the FCC to get involved and say that all the data is equal. And people will say that right now we don't have that protection, and right now the way things are set up, you will have to eventually have to pay extra money if you want to be on Facebook, or if you want to be on Twitter, then you have to go through Comcast or whatever. And I think that's where everyone's confused, is what we have right now is what we had 2 years ago. Nothing has changed. And they want to change this net neutrality. They want to create this net neutrality. Am I right? They want to create net neutrality?
No, we already have net neutrality. Or that's what we had, but they they repealed it.
But they didn't repeal it. They repealed it, but nothing had gone into effect.
Nothing has gone into effect yet.
With the thing they repealed hadn't gone into effect either.
What I understand is like that the major corporations have the right to slow you down if they inform they're doing so.
The way it is right now and the way it has been for a long time.
Really?
But so they haven't done that. But the people say that they're going to because that's the nature of corporations.
I think
it just hasn't happened.
They intentionally word things and make things hard to digest for the common public. I learned a phrase the other day, cracker barrel philosophy. You ever heard of it?
Nope.
It's just basically like a simple-minded philosophy, and that's sort of like, and I just learned this the other day, and that's what I've kind of am, a cracker barrel philosopher.
It kind of makes me want to go to Cracker Barrel and eat like
corn
and fish. And
when I tried to look up the definition, I had to scroll through all the fucking Cracker Barrels to figure out that there's an actual phrase called Cracker Barrel philosophy. But
so basically, what I'm saying is I don't really understand it.
No, and neither do I.
Yeah. What I want is I'm not a fan of the FCC being in charge of Dick, especially the internet. Shit could go sour. The thing certain people want them to do is to have the FCC be the one that makes sure the rules are being followed. And what tends to happen is the government, when it gets its little camel nose under the tent, to use a cliche, then they use that as legal precedent to do other things down the road. And I would just rather that them not have any precedent of having any authority.
Give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yeah, they will for sure. And sometimes they set this up. Sometimes they set up stuff like this. I think they set up something to create precedent for something they're already planning down the road.
Oh yeah, of
something
course.
Innocuous and innocent like net neutrality.
Well, yeah, it's just it's a chess game. I mean, people don't think that conspiracies are real. There's definitely plans, in order that we are not aware of. That's for sure.
It's one of my hobbies. I like to go to the Bilderberg group meeting every year and stand outside the facility or stand at the bottom of the road by the hotel and take pictures of billionaires going in and out. So I've seen groups of billionaires go have drinks together for a weekend, and I would generally think that they are conspiring to do something. So it's just something fun I do. Yeah, I'll talk about that more on another episode probably.
Do you yell at them when they go by?
I don't yell at them. I don't think that's very
What are you hiding at home, creep?
And when they're in America, people always yell, "Scumbag! Scumbag! Get out of our country! Terrorists!" But in Europe, generally, there's not much yelling.
Kid fucker! Yeah. Pizzagate!
There's a lot of people yelling pedophile stuff at them. Yeah, that happens a lot. I talked to one guy that claims he was molested by a Bilderberg member. Can't remember which one now. But he showed up to tell everybody that. It's interesting stuff. We'll go more into depth of that later.
Yeah, I hope he didn't get his dick grabbed or his butt pinched, because that would be a travesty.
In this day and age. I can't wait to live in the time when butt pinching and dick grabbing is A-okay.
All right, CDC. Word ban. I heard that this was all bullshit, but I'm going to play it anyway. This is Tomo News. It has 1.9 million subscribers on YouTube. They lean left for sure, as you can see.
Trump admin bans CDC from using big boy words. The CDC has actually received a list from the Trump administration banning certain words from appearing in 2018 budget documents. According to the Washington Post, CDC officials were treated to a 90-minute Trump-esque presentation on the banned words. Apparently, the Trump administration is scared of words like diversity, fetus, transgender, vulnerable, entitlement, science-based, and evidence-based. Instead of saying science-based or evidence-based, these boneheads gave suggestions like this. The CDC bases its recommendations on science in consideration with community standards and wishes. Excuse me? And over at the State Department, rather than saying sex education, the term is now sexual risk avoidance. What? Maybe Trump should just ban all words over 2 syllables and force everyone to speak in simplistic superlatives.
I think sex education is more simplistic, but
Yeah. What was it? Sexual risk avoidance?
yeah. That sounds like robot talk.
There was a comment under there that said, well, some words are logically banned. Words fetus and transgender lessens the value of a baby and normalizes gender dysphoria.
I saw a I think I was reading the memo that they were referring to there about banning the science-based. In the memo, it said our recommendation is to not use the word science-based. It was like wording like that. Like I think it was recommendation.
So, if something can be based,
or we advise you not to do this.
Yeah, something can be based in science, and then something could be scientific fact. It's just a different. I don't know.
Yeah, what does science-based mean? That could be an issue. Because really,
is it worth a Google?
I don't know. Let's see.
You can Google it. It's worth a Google.
I guess it is. But I just mean, what does that word really mean? It's just a word that could mean a lot of things to me. Science-based could mean it came from people that wear lab coats. It's, I don't know, like, this is maybe a topic for another story or another episode. When I used to test experimental drugs at Pfizer, this is kind of when I started to lose my faith in scientists.
Yeah, there's nothing definitive on Google. You can Google it, but yeah, good luck.
Anyway, I'm glad it's banned then. No.
So
it's not banned. It's just they were recommending language that you shouldn't use. They could still use it if they really want to.
I got a recommended video this week. It's Brown Eyes and Blue Eyes, Racism Experiment. Jane Elliott is a teacher, and she goes through this experiment with these kids and splits them up according to their eye color, brown eyes and blue eyes, no matter their gender, and then takes turn on disciplining the blue-eyed kids harsher than the brown-eyed kids and stuff like that. And then after a week or a day, or I forget the time increment, they switched, and she started disciplining, the kids with the brown eyes.
What a fucking nut!
And well, yeah, it's a 14-minute video. It's tear jerking almost. These parents sign up their kids for this because obviously there has to be a sign off, because she really does treat them bad. Like, you go sit in the corner. Brown-eyed kids don't do that here.
And then she just
you're not one of the blue-eyed kids. You're a brown-eyed.
It's kind of like the experiment with the famous prison one that everybody always brings up.
Mm-hmm.
Except
I'm not familiar with that.
With reverse roles. In that one, they had a bunch of, like, I don't know if it was Berkeley students or some sort of college students, and that some of them signed up to be prisoners and some signed up to be prison guards.
Okay, yes, I heard something about this.
And then the prison guard people ended up just
probably developing
horrible people.
Yeah, I bet they would.
And then, the prisoners ended up being very sad and disturbed people. But I also lost part of my respect for just scientists in general. Like when people are like Joe Rogan, he says, "Well, scientists, he worships the scientists." But the thing is, there are so many different types of scientists. There's cheap ass scientists. There's tons of quack scientists. But I used to go to school for psychology research for a little while, like 2-3 semesters. But this kind of studies they were doing, it was so not groundbreaking. I guess I'll go into it real quick here. They had 2 groups. They had one group. Okay, so both groups were paid to do bank teller work, and just simple menial tasks of like writing checks and filling out paperwork. And one group could fuck off and play video games all they wanted. Actually, both groups could fuck off and play video games all they wanted. So you got 2 groups. They are writing checks, doing menial tasks, and they can play video games if they want to at any time. One group, Group A, was paid by the task per check. Group B was paid by the hour. And lo and behold, this groundbreaking research, she didn't claim it was groundbreaking, but it's so fucking obvious that the people that were paid by the tasks actually completed more tasks. And the people that were paid by the hour just fucked off and played video games. It was just like, why did you even waste your time doing a study? And this was like her doctorate, and there was a whole bunch of other people doing their master's thesis on really uninteresting, obvious, basic things that I found laughably obvious. And they were supposed to be one of the better schools for psychology with Western Michigan. Anyway,
there's also that Jane Elliott video reminds me of a video called The Doll Test, the effects of racism on children. And I haven't pre-screened this, so I'm going to play it and see what
it's pretty short.
What happens. Yeah,
2.5 minutes. Is this the same one that had like the stuffed bunnies?
No, there's a CNN YouTube video about our children inherently are children's born with a bias, and they use bunnies and different color shirts and it's
so Anderson Cooper's the scientist here.
Yeah,
right?
Anderson Cooper's the scientist here, and it's ridiculous.
It's science.
So I'll do my best to read this. The doll test is a psychological experiment designed in the 1940s in the USA.
Sorry, just to be clear, this is not the CNN Anderson Cooper one with bunnies.
No,
this is a different one.
Designed in the 1940s in the USA to test the degree of marginalization felt by African American children caused by prejudice, discrimination, and racial segregation. Moving forward.
This is a pretty quiet YouTube video.
We have recreated it with Italian children.
Quale bambola è bianca?
Which is the white doll?
He's pointing to the white doll.
Quale bambola è nera?
Which is the black doll? The black girl's pointing to the black doll.
Quale delle due è bella?
Which doll is pretty?
Questa.
The girl points to
Qual
the
è
white
quella
doll.
bella?
The black kid points to the black doll.
Qual è quella brutta?
Which is ugly? The kid points to the black doll. He's like Latino looking, even though he's
E qual è
Italian.
quella buona?
The black girl points to the white doll as the nice
Quale
one.
è cattiva?
Which one is bad? Black kid points to... Wait for it.
The black
one.
Qual è buona?
Which one is good? The Asian points to the white one.
Wow.
The other kid points to the white one.
Fucking racist kids.
The black girl points to the white one.
Perché è buona?
Why is she good?
Perché ha gli occhi celesti.
Because she has blue eyes.
I have blue eyes.
Quale è
Awesome.
cattiva?
Which one is bad? Points to the black one. Another kid points to the black one. I think they made the
Perché è
point.
cattiva?
Perché tutto nero.
They asked the girl why is he bad.
E qual
She
è
said because
la
he's all
bambola
black.
che ti somiglia di più?
And which doll looks like you? They say to the darkish skinned kid. He points to the black one, obviously.
This is freaking me out.
This other kid.
there's definitely some production that went into this video, though, because it has got me. The music is not helping.
Yeah, well,
they all look sad. Why are they so sad?
They're trying to.
Is it easier to break an atom than a prejudiced Albert Einstein?
Quale bambola è nera?
I think we could stop this one. Yeah. Yeah, some racist Italian kids. Dude, Italians are racist as fuck. I'll say that. Is that racist? I'm pretty sure they are, though, dude.
Have you been to Italy?
I've been there twice. Yeah.
There was no white kids in this interview.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
All minorities, mostly black girls. So let's count them. We got
this could
Latino
easily
boy.
be falsified because it's not a real. I mean, they're making it look like it's a real experiment, but it could easily just be a. I'm not sure who fan page is, but it wouldn't be. Or what's that other bottom thing? The bottom emblem Iscriviti. It could be psychological warfare, or it could be true. It could totally be true.
No, I mean this is not the only one. I mean there's several experiments like this one right here. It's a CNN one. Study shows how children view race bias.
Accept that as an experiment.
No,
CNN is like literally doing it on air. That's no. Yeah, no, that's interesting. I think it's probably true, depending on what's on television in Italy or what their grandparents say. Dude, I can imagine Italian grandparents being extremely racist.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have like a lot of immigrants. Like I've been to Italy. I bought a bongo drum from some Africans on the street of Italy. So not to say this is like all the black people in Italy, but there's a lot of street people and like immigrants, especially nowadays. That was back in the day. Now it's probably even more. There's a lot of really poor black immigrants in Italy in general.
My uncle, he's not racist. He's real Christian, but he's from Germany, born there, grew up in America. But he talks in German sometimes, and it's funny. He used to give me rides, and we'd be in Lansing, Michigan, driving around, and there'd be a black person running across the street, and he'd be like, "Scheiße, man," and then "Scheiße," because it's black.
Scheiße?
Scheiße.
That might be shit.
No, Schwarze. No, Schwarze. Schwarze. Schwarze.
No, shite is shit, actually.
Yeah.
Scheiße.
Scheiße.
I don't know.
Scheiße. I don't know. But Schwarzenegger means like translates to black, in German.
Black N-word?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I don't know. He'd sing. He'd be like, "Everybody, watch out for the Schwarzenegger, Schwarzenegger." Like,
wow, an old racist German. Imagine that.
Yeah. And then he'd be like, "Oh, that's," slap himself. He's funny.
Did you know
he took a lot of drugs and stayed in a lot of deserts.
I know, at least in Austria.
I think he's got some Korean kids.
Oh, that's nice of him. That's nice. In Austria, they're not allowed to watch old Hitler movies of Hitler documentaries where he's doing speeches and things. They're like banned movies, banned media. So when I was in China,
dude, they should teach that shit in speech class, just on mute, because just his presence at the podium was powerful.
Seems like a good speech class would.
Yeah, they would at least look into it. What made his speeches so effective?
I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of people that have looked into that. I'm not the greatest speaker, even though I have taken speech class, but I'm still working on the whole speech.
Hitler had a dog.
He probably had a shitload of dogs.
Hitler's-
Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
He probably had his main dog, but he probably had like 10 guard dogs that he knew or something.
Everybody hates Hitler.
Yeah. Wonder why.
But that dog probably loved him. He'd walk in the room, then you go, "Hey, it's Hitler."
Yeah, that dog's not gonna know any different.
I love Hitler. Hitler's my master.
Someone's gonna cut that out of our audio and be like, obviously these people are Nazis.
Hitler touches my
Nazis.
back. I love it when Hitler pets me. I like to sleep with Hitler.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to tell you, this very last segment is brought to you by the weed pill I took before the podcast started, and it has definitely hit me. Everything's a nice orange color, and I find it hard to keep saliva in my mouth.
Yeah, those are fairly strong.
Yeah, I can't stop smoking blunts.
That's normal.
Yeah,
seems normal. Normal behavior for you. No, I was watching some Hitler documentaries when I was in China with some Austrian kids who had never seen that shit before. And they were like, "Oh my god," because like their grandparents were fucking Nazis.
Really?
And they had never seen Hitler do speeches, and so that their minds were like being blown. We're sitting on this couch, and they're just like, I don't know. I didn't speak much to them because we don't speak the same language, but they were in shock.
I think, if I remember a story correctly, my grandma had to be in Germany when Hitler was coming into power.
What year did she leave?
Oh, fudge, man. So
how old's your grandma?
She's dead. Man, I'd have to get that.
Sorry, I knew this was a sensitive.
No, so
topic.
If she
already went over that.
If she died 5 years ago and she was 80, so
she'd be 85.
It was 85.
She would have been like, just guessing off my grandparents' age, who were a little bit younger. She would have been like 10 during the war or something like that.
85 minus like 2017.
8 years old, 10 years old.
1932.
Okay.
So about the.
So yeah, she would have been about 10 years old.
Yeah. So I think she fled. Her family fled to Poland.
Well, that probably didn't work.
Probably not.
Well, I don't know my history that well, but there was a time when Poland was free of the Nazis, I'm sure.
One of my regrets in life is not interviewing her before she passed, because I bet it was a hell of a story. I got to talk to my aunts and uncles about it. It really bothers me. That's crazy. And that's another thing when I think about, I like to use that. Like, my dad was an immigrant. That's a good story. You know, I'm a son of an immigrant.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought of you that way.
Yeah.
You should get so many more privileges now.
I should. Everything should be free.
I am not.
I want dual citizenship.
I'm the great grandson of an immigrant who was poor as fuck. They used to fish on Lake Superior for their livelihood. Like fish with horses in the wintertime and everything.
You know what? And all their babies were white. All the baby dolls were white. Because black babies are bad.
Unless they were made out of like corn husks or something.
Black babies are bad and ugly. That's what kids think.
According to Italian children.
You know, they have, yeah.
I would like to see the study done in an American elementary school, like just your average public school.
Yeah.
And see, I bet the kids know that they shouldn't be racist.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "Oh, I gotta pick the white one."
No, they were like, "I'll pick the black one to be nice."
Yeah, right.
Now, what would you like if you confronted a kid? Now, why'd you pick that black doll? Are you just trying to be nice? Well, yeah. They'd probably say something like that.
Is it because you know it's the right thing to do?
It's controversial. I mean, it's a heartbreaking video, and I almost hope that like there's a green screen. And those babies aren't real. And they're like,
well, the babies are
point to the rotted fruit.
Oh,
you know, yeah. Point to the good fruit.
I mean, it really would be easily faked, is all I'm saying. But it probably is real. I believe that these little bastards. I mean, there's racism in the world, man. This world's a fucked up world. There's a lot of shit going down. There's a lot of fucked up people, fucked up cultures.
We got some time. I want to explore an idea.
Well, we got a little bit of time. We're at 2:05 right now, but
we
should probably wrap it up in a little while.
I've been since we talk a lot about YouTube on this podcast, I've been down the rabbit hole many a times, and I'm always looking for the origins of man. And there's a whole bunch of racist stuff on YouTube about like black people don't have Neanderthal in them.
They don't?
Yeah. But the other two branch-off species would be white and the Asian, which Mexicans are inherently Asian, Indians, Asian, like Asian, black, white. Those are the three main ones. And
do the Asians have any Neanderthal?
Yeah. Yep.
You can get blood tested for that.
Yeah. Yep.
My dad has this thing on his hand that when he closes his hand, like where your like lifeline, I don't know what the lines are, but when he closes his hand, there's a seam that goes straight across, and supposedly that's a sign of Neanderthal. And I know one of my relatives had his blood tested, and it was like it was relatively high. It was like this old guy was like, "Yeah, it's amazing. It was great. I love it."
So the speculation in the comment sections on these YouTube videos, and it's probably just there's a bunch of racist shit on there, and it's borderline hilarious to watch these people go at it. But they say the whites are the most developed, and these are not my views. That's just what the comment section are saying. So they're most developed.
517
897 7759. Get at me, bro. And
you're gonna have to get a new phone.
So what if these children like inherently know? And this is just bullshit speculation. Don't take me at this. What if they view blue eyes as like the most evolved? Or what if they, I don't know. What if the systemic racism is so thick they think if they mate, what if they would inherently, so this would be about mating. So these children are pointing at dolls. So they're talking about almost who they would mate with.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Where it seems to be diving into a strange area, but I see what you're saying. You're saying like that maybe just as a thought experiment, maybe there's like a genetic code or a genetic predisposition of humans to desire blue eyes over brown, or whatever. Like maybe specifically from this video, maybe
it's the systemic racism that's steering them toward that. So they're that makes them like less of a target if they group with those people,
perhaps,
the white people.
Perhaps. Maybe they. Yeah.
But that's weird. A lot of people aren't thinking of it like that. They're like, oh, they're just thinking of race. They're not even thinking of like the underlying factor here.
Well, in Italy, the white people have probably almost all the power.
Mm-hmm.
And,
so you would want to side with the powerful. I mean, it's like I said it last episode when Billy Bush handed the girl. He's like, oh, don't you want to give Donald a hug? That's the small gorilla giving the big gorilla a banana.
So you're saying that these little kids are the small gorilla pointing at the big gorilla baby because they, as a thought experiment here, that they want to side with the big gorilla white baby doll?
They want to side with the people that are dominant in their area, I guess.
Maybe. I bet it has a lot to do with the expectation of who's a criminal. So it's probably a disproportionate amount of, locked up black people in Italy as well.
Yeah, I don't know about the dynamics. I think what's good is now that we touched on the subject, I'm going to come at next episode with another black baby, white baby video.
All right. Yeah, I'm not afraid to talk about race.
No.
I might come off as a bigot from time to time, but I just don't really believe in political correctness and stuff. So.
No, you told me some stories, man. You're one of the most one of the nicest people.
Oh, thank you.
Accommodating to like people that I would just brush off.
Oh, well, that's something I'm working on. I'm trying to be like, just like, I don't know, brush off more people. Especially there's a lot of people in my life that I should have brushed off a long time ago that I have, and my life has improved greatly. I highly recommend it.
So, give out that Twitter one more time. Give out that email.
Let's see here. Our Twitter is Idiocracy Now. Idiocracy Now at Idiocracy Now 1. Idiocracy Now at Idiocracy Now 1 on Twitter. And the email is idiocracynow at startmail.com. So far, that's the best way to get a hold of us. We're going to have a YouTube up probably by the next episode. We'll have that announced. So we'll have a YouTube channel with shorter versions of this show, like clips of this show, clips of clips. We'll have eventually we'll have a whole web page for show stuff and donation links and whatever else we think we need.
You know, even if we don't get listeners, we're still going to produce content.
Yep, absolutely.
And we're going to just keep plugging away and keep plugging away. And eventually the show is going to turn into a quality product. And it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty rough right now, but it'll get polished and sculpted into something the more we do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you guys are in on the ground floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess thanks for listening to our early shows.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
I imagine in the future, like, there'll be people that are like, hey, let's check out those early shows from 2017 and listen to it. And
God,
be
their microphones sound like shit. They swear a lot back then.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I swear a little bit more when I get nervous, too. I've got a little bit of the podcast nerves, but that's what that shot of vodka was for, so.
Vodka.
Want to shut it down?
Yeah, let's shut it down.
Shut it down.
Thank you to all our Americans. This is Idiocracy Now signing off.
Before we go, too, I want to mention that we will have our stuff up on iTunes as well. That'll be a good place to download our material.